Hello, quantum creators, welcome to my channel. I want to talk today about how did I fix my sleep and what I do every day to keep it healthy. First of all, this is not medical advice. I am here just sharing my journey, and hopefully you find some ideas and some things that you can implement in your life to find your way to a healthy sleep. Is that the case? Um, I believe that we all have the inner tools to discover what's going on inside us, so then we can fix whatever is going on in the outside. Um, let's call it like our body, our physical experience. I am 43 years old now, and when I was in my late 30s, after the pandemic, I some things start shifting in my body, and I thought it was of aging. I thought it was aging. So um, I started getting a little more anxious, and then with that, of course, my sleep was disturbed. I was not able to sleep deeply as I used before, and also I started to have more and more night sweats, which is really horrible. And I used to perceive that as like something bad in my body. I was thinking, oh, this is menopause. What is going on? Well, I'm almost in my 40s. This is normal. Um, but the problem with my sleep is that I work long hours, and I start to work every day at 6 a.m. in the morning. So if my sleep gets disturbed, waking up, start to work at 6, and then just having a long day gets start like a snowball, which is like really unhealthy. And imagine if, and then the second night I wouldn't sleep good, it would be increasing my anxiety, my bad mood, um, everything in my body was feeling really bad. And these night sweats were getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So then one of my coworkers said, "Look, this is what I normally take. It's just I have never taken melatonin or anything like that." So she tell me, "Yeah, this is something I take. It helps me sleep. You want to try them out? Maybe help you." So I had these gummies. There were gummies with melatonin, L-theanine, and some herbs, and they made me really good. It helped me. It helped me like fall asleep, um, and also I started getting magnesium. All of these things I don't remember exactly the time frame, but it was like a lapse of few months where I just implementing this life habits, different habits in my life with some supplements and with my nutrition. After like 3 years of this, approximately, some things became really obvious to me what was going on. But at the moment, I didn't know. Um, so yeah, I started with these gummies. Really helped me, really helped my sleep, and I thought, wow, this is fabulous. So I checked the brand, and I started looking for other supplements this brand had, and I found also these gummies that were called like stress free or something like that, and they have also L-theanine and they have GABA. So these gummies, at the moment I was like, wow, what crazy time to live in that we can take these gummies and we get the superpowers. When I was getting the GABA gummies, my mood was like 10 times better. My focus was 10 times better. You know, I am a lifeguard, so I watch the water and I have to be really focused on the water. And I was feeling like my focus was like much more as like what's going on with me. And then I was feeling like also if somebody did a small joke, I was laughing more, and it was that kind of laugh that you cannot stop. It's just like natural laugh. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I love this. I love these gummies. They make me be happy. And then I started to sleep better. Of course, as I started to sleep better, then my body started to feel better. And then everything started to come better in my life. I consider like sleep for me is the basis. The basis of everything I do is my recovery time, and when I sleep well, that's when I can have better everything because I have a better brain. So I have better like connections with the quantum. I don't know, like more my intuition is better. I'm more my mind is quiet. Everything works well. So sleeping is the basis. So then things start to get better in my life. Like I used to get like less anxious, a better mood, I sleep better. But yes, this took, let's say, 2 or 3 months. And at the same time, I read a book that one of my mentors recommended. The book is written by William Davis, and is called With Belly 10-Day Grain Detox. And I had the audio version, and he was explaining how bad wheat is for us, and how, because it creates a leaking gut, and why wheat is addictive. So we need to can remove it completely. And this book specifically put that challenge. Let's quit grain and wheat for 10 days totally. And he said, you will feel like you're quitting a drug. You will feel the same symptoms. So I tried, and it was really, yeah, it was crazy because the third day, I remember it was 11, and I really 11 in that morning, and I was really desperate for a nap. I was feeling so tired, so exhausted, just because of quitting wheat. So then, because when I finished the book and I understood, I had an insight of all the things possibly wheat was and grains were doing to me at the time, and I had done the 10-day grain detox. I was like, okay, this is great. I feel great with this. So I will quit grains, and I could definitely quit wheat. And so yeah, this, as I said, is like through 3-4 months, all these changes happening, and my sleep got better and better and better. Then I saw a nutritionist back home, and she gave me like a contact of a doctor. So I saw this doctor, I did a full analysis, and she gave me also a diet, and she confirmed about quitting wheat, quitting grains. It was more keto, but also the diet has some fruits in the afternoon, far from the proteins. It's, I kind of started eating like that. It was like a long list of a lot of things to do, a lot of things to change and habits with related to food, which I not did implement all of them, but I was much more organized in my eating, and also my sleeping was getting better, which is like the best thing. And I remember sharing with her the supplements I was taking, and she said they were good, but they have sugar, and she said it's good if we supplement with something to have something with no sugar, so we can just get rid of sugar, have the less sugar as possible. So yeah, I did the test. Everything was pretty well. She, because my body has certain like little deficits here and there, it was like a lot of deep study of lot of vitamins, mineral, hormones, like everything in my body, everything. So she supplemented some stuff, like at the time was selenium, B12, but it's not that it was super low. It's just like to some adjustments to my body. So I'm getting a storm is coming. So yeah, everything was better, and yeah, everything was better. Then something I realized at the time, because I didn't want to take the supplements every day like a must. So I used to take them sometimes, and specifically with the GABA gummies, I realized that the day I was taking those gummies, I was not having my night sweats. So I just love that because I love to have a very nice sleep and wake up dry and feeling good, feeling good. So then I started taking this GABA gummies intentionally for this. But then there was a moment when I said, wait, I don't want to depend on this no more. So I started leaving them. I left. I stopped taking them. And when I stopped taking them, my night sweat had gone. It was really interesting because at the time, okay, yes, I was not taking the GABA gummies no more, but I still was taking the gummies for sleep. I was taking magnesium, and I had quit grains. I had quit grains. I was not taking wheat, and also one of the things my doctor had recommended me was glutamine. So I was taking plasma protein every day. I used to take this glutamine. Glutamine supposedly to heal the gut. So yeah, my nuts disappeared. But I was really afraid of leave the sleeping gummies because I didn't know how I was going to sleep, and I just wanted to sleep well. So the what I did to quit them, to leave them, it just I remember I went and spent some time at home with my mother, and like her presence really made me feel really in peace. You know, when you wake up and you listen those noise in the kitchen, that is like, you know, your mom walking and preparing breakfast, the stuff that made me feel really at peace. And I had no I had no sleeping problems there. My sleeping problems were gone. Then I quit the gummies. If my mom was not there, I have, let's say, good friends. I have my good friends in Brazil that are like my second family, and also if I cannot go with my mom, but I'm in Brazil, I would love to go and spend some time with them in nature, in peace, when I feel safe and protected and loved. And then it's like, okay, get sleep back. And yeah, so that was the time I quit this supplement. However, sometimes I may get stressed out from some reason. I may get a little anxious, and then I just like to have them in case I really need to sleep. In case I really want to fall asleep and I cannot, I have them. But I may have them like once, like let's say 2 3 weeks. And of the GABA gummies, I don't have them no more. I don't have them. Um, well, in a moment, I used to have them also the same as the sleeping gummies. So yeah, just to have them some in case. For example, the thing now I don't really have problems. I don't really. It's very rare for me to have a bad night sleep. So I like to have L-theanine and melatonin, which I found some low carb options. I like to have them just in case I have problems sleeping, so I take them, and then I sleep well. But I used also to have some extra GABA, some GABA gummies in case I do not fall asleep. I did not fall asleep well. I didn't sleep well. So then this GABA will help me go through the day in a better mood. And that night, having the L-theanine and like the melatonin would like make me have a full night rest again and then stop. I just have them like for occasions. So yeah, that's basically how I fix my sleep. Other stuff I do daily to keep it healthy, and as I research or find out stuff, I try to implement habits, daily habits to promote my sleep. And well, some things are easy because of my lifestyle, because I am surrounded by nature and I get a lot of sunlight. And I start to work. I work outside and I work during the day. So, and that for me like is checked. I believe like well, adjusting our circadian rhythm is big part of this, like what our internal clock. So that also in my life happens naturally because I wake up, work, dinner, go to bed. During my working time, on my vacations, they used to get a little messy because let's say go dinner with friends, or sometimes do some stuff out of the schedule, those things will really, really disturb my sleep. So when I realized this, I stopped, and my friends know that we do things during the day, and at night we sleep. I watch carefully my sleeping window. I watch carefully my sleeping window. That is, I like to have 8 hours in bed. For example, I like to go 9:30 and put the clock 5:30. That is like my time on bed, on darkness and silence. Then sometimes I wake up early, many times, almost always. Let's say I wake up at 4, I woke up at 4:30, but I already had like a deep sleep, even if it's like 7 hours, 6.5 hours, but I had a deep sleep. So that don't really matter, because once I have that deep sleep, my day is great. My day is great, my mood is great, and the following night I also sleep well. So some habits, I took note of all these habits, because when I started, I realized there's a lot of stuff I do, and maybe not everybody is willing to do all the stuff. I am willing to do them because, as I said, sleeping is my main priority to check and to do all the other stuff. So the first stuff I put here, like alcohol. Alcohol is a no-no for me in my life, and I quit it. I quit at the same time. I quit wheat and grains, and at the same time I was taking this stuff more seriously, and I started with this discipline around food and taking the supplements. I also realized that alcohol was not making me good, and it's one of the things that disturbs sleep. So I quit alcohol. um, I had, let's say, last year one time, and the previous year I had 2 times alcohol, but it's like very, very rare. This year I didn't have not even single one time, and honestly, once I just quit it. I just don't want it. It's so funny. I just like, how, I don't understand, how did I want that before? It feels something so like, I don't want to say nasty, but it's something like, no, something foreign to my body, something doesn't feel good in the body at all, doesn't mess with my brain. No. Alcohol is a no-no. So yeah, something I also put here. Um, I monitor my sleeping window, and I also monitor my eating window. And I try this to adjust this to my circadian rhythm. I try to always eat when it's light time. Even if I'm indoors, I like to eat when it's light time. I don't like to have breakfast at 5:30 in the morning, and even I start to work at 6, but I don't like to have breakfast 5:30 because it's still night time. So I always try to go for a breakfast later. And the same thing with dinner. Sometimes I don't have options, so I have dinner, let's say at 7. That's the latest. But I really monitor my eating window. I'm not going to eat half an hour before bed. No, 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 no. Um, yes, and also, after quitting grains, I got another book of the Dr. Mindy Bells about fasting, and I started to fast like a girl, and that was a life changing, and I love that. And so I will mention that because something I do. I I fast and I eat according to my hormones. I try to give my hormones the right food they need to produce the hormone they need. This is a big topic, so I can make like a new video on this. But yes, I try to eat according to my hormones. I'm going to share the link. I'm going to share the link of all the books I'm mentioning, and probably about the supplements too. So if you're interested, you can check them out. So yeah, yes, stay, wake up at the same time, go to bed at the same time. Yeah, my sleeping window and my wake up window. I always spend a lot of time in the sun, but that's easy because it's my lifestyle. Um, Also, I use in winter, especially because the days are so short, I use glasses for blocking the blue light. I use them in the afternoon, evening when it gets dark, and I also use them in the morning. Sometimes, let's say we start at 6 a.m. in the morning, and it's like half an hour in complete darkness, and I have all these vehicles with this bright white lights in my eyes, and it's really disturbing. So I started using the blue light blockers. The blue light glasses is three types. It's yellow, it's orange, and red, and they have different purposes. So I like the ones that are more yellowish for this morning, for the morning. And at night, I go from the yellowish to the red before sleep. Also, at night, yes, for time with the computer or the phone, definitely the red ones. Even if I wake up at night to check the phone, I like to pull my glasses to check the phone and see this with the to blocking the blue light, because that's something that makes our brain recognize like daytime, and I don't like it. And in the morning, I know I'm getting this vehicles light when it's dark time, and it's like, okay, I'm using blue light blockers in the morning, but I just somehow I feel they're really disturbing for my brain, for my nervous system, for my perception of the world. When it's morning, I like to wake up slowly, and I do that, and I fully wake up when it gets the sun up. Um, Many times I watch the sunrise, right? I see the sunrise. I start at nighttime, I see the sunrise, and then it gets day and get working all day during the day. So that's when I fully wake up. Some stuff I do when it's night. Um, my body doesn't feel good if I'm surrounded by all this blue light, white light, this bright LED. Also, the headlamps has this bright white LED light that is horrible. Horrible feels really bad when it's dark, even if it's the morning and it's that light over there. I don't like it. That's why I use the glasses. Um, well, also, I use earplugs. Many people say they don't like them, but for me, I just love to wear the earplugs because I put them and it's like um, I don't hear any weird noise, and I just like nothing wakes me up. And I love to have my deep sleep, so I got used to them and I use them. The same also, I like to have completely dark at night, so I'm not using them now. I'm not really needed, but you know the stuff to cover the eyes are really good. Having a small little lights, for example, the modem of the computer, or I don't know, the TV, little LED light, red or green, that disturbs our sleep. Even we don't realize, and sometimes they put a lot of light in the room, so we want to avoid those ones. We want to avoid those ones. And some things also, I avoid drinking liquids at night. Like I used to have my tea every night before bed, but lately I just rather don't do it because I don't want to wake up to go to the restroom at night. I'd rather have a full night's sleep. And I know when I don't drink late, then it's like, okay, I won't wake up to go to the restroom. So it is much better. Um, Also related to this, because as I said in my diet, I do Mindy Pell's diet, and she has two diets. One is very low carb, which she calls ketobiotic, and the other is with some carbs, which she calls hormone feasting. So I realized that on my ketobiotic, when I don't eat carbs, I'm I don't just I just don't accumulate liquid in my body during the day, and then I don't go to the restroom at night, and I can have a better sleep time because of that. If I'm into carbs, sometimes my body retain liquid, and then at night is when like fully gets rid of that, and then when it wants to go to the restroom, and that wakes me up. So the lower the carb, the better, the less retention of liquids in the body, and the less going to the restroom. Something to have in mind. And also something else I do is having a lot of electrolytes during the day, hydrating very well, having electrolytes. All right. Well, it's about to fall rain. So I think I need to go. I hope you like my video. If you like this content, subscribe for more quantum content, quantum creation. We really need to take care of this as the basis of all that we're going to build up. It's like, for me, it's like the base of the pyramid. I'm going to put links of all the stuff I mentioned. And yeah, see you soon. Bye bye. It's raining bad. I missed the rain for like 2 minutes. But yes, I'm hiding here. See you.